All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of all ages, this is the NAIF Ball podcast, live show, whatever you want to call it. We are here, we are live, and by we, I mean me. I am here. John has a game today that he cannot make it, so you're just going to get me tonight. Before we get going, I want to say thank you to our powered by sponsor AdCraft USA, your custom apparel, merch, and uniform experts. They do a great job with making things for any team, whether it be your business or whether it be your football team. Get with them. Heck, even if you've got a Pee-wee football team, they would love to chat with you about that and how you can get them outfitted. They have reasonable prices, great customer service. They take care of all that for you, and they take care of us. So support the people who take care of us. One more thing is before we really get into it, you are watching right now on YouTube. Do me a favor, go ahead, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Once we hit 1,000 viewers and 4,000 watch hours, we can start monetizing this thing. So we would love to be able to do more NAI football content. And monetizing this YouTube channel is one way we can do that. So go ahead and subscribe. And if you feel so inclined, click the bell so that you know when we go live, times like this. So let's get going. We've got a scoreboard to look at. Now you'll notice there is one game missing. St. Xavier and Roosevelt was canceled / forfeited, however you want to read into that. But we had a great few games this week, starting with Indiana Wesleyan and Concordia. Concordia comes away with a victory, 28-21. They really did do a great job shutting down that Indiana Wesleyan run game. Only 81 yards rushing on 35 attempts for the Wildcats. And just had a great day through the air, 478 yards of offense for Concordia. Split between three quarterbacks, Brady Rader, Gavin Brooks, and Nick Simke. Mostly Rader and Brooks. They combined for 207 yards passing, and then a whole host of running backs for them did it. Really and truly, it's just getting the ball back in good situations, holding Indiana Wesleyan down. That did the trick there for Concordia. Great win for Concordia. Definitely one that I was looking forward to. Morningside and Midland is up next. Morningside wins 59-14. Forced a lot of mistakes from Midland, 3 interceptions and a fumble for the Warriors. And Morningside really showed that they are the force in the GPAC, on top of the GPAC this year. If you're not efficient, you're not going to beat Morningside. And Midland just had way too many missed opportunities. And then I won't call it a surprise game because I had a feeling Cumberland's was going to come out fighting mad, but they take care of Bethel 47-15 and really do it, on the ground. 219 rushing yards on 60 rushing attempts, imposing their will on Bethel and wearing them down. Cumberland's, you'll see. They made the NAI top 25 this week. You'll see them soon in ours. So, before we get to our players of the week, let's talk about our friends at Maumee Bay Turf Nation. You see here, these are high school fields here that they did. They did baseball, just beautiful baseball, softball, getting those foul areas done. It's a big deal to have that done right. Maumee Bay and Turf Nation will take care of you. They are small college born and bred, and they know what it takes to survive in this neck of the woods. So let's talk about our week 4, 5, something I can't count, players of the week. We start out in Iowa with Gavin Esquivel. I'm sure I butchered that name. 456 yards and 8 touchdowns for the signal caller out of Iowa Wesleyan. They defeat their Division III opponent, and Gavin sets a school record in the interim for the Tigers, leaving no doubt who should be the offensive player of the week. Defensively, it's a little closer, but we're going to go with Zion Bethel from Georgetown. 3 tackles, 2 picks, 6s, and a pass breakup. Anytime that you change the score on the scoreboard twice, you are going to get a look at the player of the week. Congratulations to Zion and to Gavin there on being our players of the week. On to the top 25 here in our media poll. Great job this week by the voters. I really felt good about this poll and getting it set up. Starting from the bottom, Rocky Mountain comes into the poll after defeating their opponent there. They are now solo atop the Frontier Conference after their win. So at number 24, we have the College of Idaho, who after a 28-21 loss to Carroll slides back a few spots here, down 10 spots after that loss. At number 23, we've got Langston coming in to the chat after they took care of business at Lyon. The Sooner is going to heat up. Langston has been feasting on the bottom half of the Sooner in the first half. We'll see coming up here in a couple weeks what they can do with the top half. At number 22 is Valley City State. Valley City State dispatched Mayville State 49-0, and they go up 3 spots. And at number 21, holding steady Eddie, is Dort. They get back to business. They play Mountain Marty this week. You heard me talking about Cumberland's earlier. They shoot up all the way to 20 after their win. They get to play their other namesake, Cumberland, this week. We told the folks from Cumberland's that, if they beat Bethel and Southeastern, they would not be slept on, and they are no longer slept on at number 20. At number 19, we've got the Southwestern Mound Builders. They go into their KCAC round 2 of the playoff matchup, as it were, this week. We'll talk about that in a minute. At number 18, we've got Olivet Nazarene going up a spot. We got a big game this week. We'll talk about that soon as well. St. Xavier at number 17 is down 1 spot after last week, and we'll talk about them more later as well. St. Thomas going up 4 spots to number 16 after a late thrashing of Warner. They play the other of those twin schools on the same lake, Weber, this weekend. So we'll see if the Bobcats can keep it rolling. Heading just a little north, we see Faulkner, who re-entered the NAIA coaches poll this week. We had them at number 15. They play Point this weekend. Indiana Wesleyan falls back 3 spots, which isn't horrible. You lose to a top 10 team closely. That's not a bad loss. They're going to have to get up off the mat this weekend for sure. Ottawa of Arizona climbs up 2 spots after they dispatch Arizona Christian. They have the inside track on the Sooner right now, except for Langston, who they still have to face. At number 12, we've got Bethel College up 1 after their win. They will also go into that kind of round 2 of the KCAC here shortly. And at number 11, we have Reinhardt. Gets back up off the mat and wins there against Ave Maria. We'll see what the Eagles have to offer this next week. As a point, guys, if y'all want to comment, I have the live stream coming on here. If you want to give your team a shout out, I will be able to see it. At number 10, we have Georgetown, who defeated U-Pike 52-14. Georgetown just keeps going, waiting to play the others in their division. Number 9, Baker stays steady there after they defeat Graceland 58-7. Baker's Baker. Kaiser at number 8 drops down 1 spot after struggling with Florida Memorial, a 31-26 victory. If the Seahawks don't figure out how to start a little faster and keep the pedal to the metal, they're going to have some issues. Maybe not in the season, but if they make the playoffs, they will have some issues. At number 7 is Kansas Wesleyan beating St. Mary 49-7. They swap with Kaiser there. They are up 1 spot, and from the top 6 on, it is unchanged. We have Concordia, who defeated Indiana Wesleyan. We have Marion, who defeated Taylor. We have Grandview, who defeated Moval. We have Northwestern, who dispatched Mount Marty. Morningside, who beat Midland. And Lindsey Wilson, who took care of business against Cumberland 34-7.
Hello, this is Billy Hall from Reinhardt University, and you are listening to NAIAFBALL.
Well, you heard Billy. You are listening to NAIAFBALL. And we have some games to watch for you this week, starting in the mid-states. Indiana Wesleyan, you just heard me say they're going to have to get off the mat quick. They host Marion in what could be a really nice game. Indiana Wesleyan is going to look to avenge their loss last week against Concordia. Marion just needs to keep going. They've got a really good spot right now to make some noise in the playoffs, but they have to get through their gauntlet first, and this is one of those games. This is, I think, the first gauntlet game for Marion this year. The next 2 games here are what I've been calling the KCAC tournament. Round 2, we have Kansas Wesleyan at Avila and Bethel at Southwestern. If you are Avila or Bethel, you have got to get a win here against these 2 schools, Kansas Wesleyan and Southwestern, respectively, or you're in danger of not making the playoffs. For Kansas Wesleyan and Southwestern, you're setting up a date with each other if you can beat these 2. And it will be nice to see who emerges in the KCAC. This was supposed to be, for St. Xavier, the second of 2 appearances here that would decide the fate of the Mid-States Midwest. But with the canceled game last week against Roosevelt, it's going to come down to Olivet Nazarene. This is going to be a great game between the 2 large cats, and we will see who can claw their way to victory. And out west, we have Rocky Mountain and Eastern Oregon in what's going to actually be a very important game. Can Rocky separate themselves from the Frontier, or will the Frontier continue to eat itself alive. So, you see John's picks every Friday on our Patreon. You can see his picks there for all the games. But I will give mine here going down the list. I think Marion defeats Indiana Wesleyan on the road. I'm picking Kansas Wesleyan at Avila. Bethel, I'm picking them against Southwestern. I think they keep their hopes alive. I'm going to pick the upset here. I'm going to go with Olivet Nazarene over St. Xavier, and I'm going to pick the upset out west as well, going with Eastern Oregon over Rocky Mountain. I think that's going to be a really great game to keep up with. Before we go on, I want to do some shout-outs. We've got a shout-out for Baker. Baker looking good this year. Let's see. Who do they face this week? They've got a bye week this week. So, can't lose on a bye, can't win on a bye. That'll set themselves up. I like this bye here for to set yourself up for the season. St. Thomas, man, that was nervy, guys. That first little bit over against Warner, but pulled it out. You've got to beat Weber, and you've got to beat Ave Maria. If you can't beat those teams, you have no business beating Southeastern or Kaiser. So you got to get this game. U-Pike, man, I hate that you took it on the chin there against Georgetown, but you showed some fight, and I like it. All the Hart teams are off this week. Are they really? Huh. So they are. Grandview's on a bye. That's probably a really good idea to have had a bye week this week. When you set the schedule, you didn't know what COVID was going to do. Have a off week in the middle of your season. You can reschedule a game to the middle where everyone's got off. Really had their thinking caps on there as the Hart Conference. Shout out to them. That's a really nice call for them. Didn't end up panning out where you need it, but I'd rather need it or have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I do like the bye in the middle of the schedule. That is a really nice bye to have. We have for you this last of the editions, the latest of how small did Cory have to make the font this time. I had to make it smaller. Guys, these folks here get early access to our viewing guide every week. They get access to John's picks where he is right at 90%. If you want to know what your team is going to do this week, you need to see Cooper's picks. Does a fantastic job with them. And these are the folks that help us get out to the national championship game. So let's shout them out. Ace Wellen, Cordell, Austin Steele, Jody Hoagland, Jerry Quickle, Alex Garcia, Eric Winger, Nathan, Ronnie Atkinson, Fred Christensen, Shirley Labella, Jeremy Vobble, Trisha Prescott, Roger Meyer, Dylan Swears, David, Bob Boone, Cliff Kreisel, Darren, Brett Kroschel, Danielle Quinn, DSU Cone, Ian Sweeney, Blake Sentman, Keith, Charlie Simmons, Marty Seabolt, Justin Cobb, Dane, Nick Bazell, Hayden Ferrigno, Steve Card, Marty McFly, love it, Cam and Cam World, Cliff Nine and A. Hemerson, Art Kastner, and Jeff. Those last three are new additions this week. Welcome to the team. So, some news and notes for us before we sign off here. It is official. We are going to the national championship game. The flight is booked. The hotel is reserved. The car is, well, it's not picked out. It is also reserved. We are going, and it's thanks to y'all. Every one of y'all that retweets and interacts with our stuff, everyone that subscribes to our YouTube channel, everyone that is one of our patrons especially, and especially to the two businesses that help us do what we do. AdCraft USA is a huge part of us being able to travel. And also Mommy Bay Turf and Turf Nation as well help us to do what we do, help us to travel. That's what we want to do, guys. We want to be here. We want to be in the right spots. I just want to share a little bit of what we want to do. It's our dream that one day we are going to get to travel a whole lot more. We are wanting to go ahead and do a college game day style show here where we get to be live on location, where we get to go and interview coaches, and we get to be out and meet y'all and get to shake hands and see practice. That is our goal, is to be able to travel and make a great show for y'all so that you can be proud in your school, in your level of play, because it is definitely one of the best out there. We'd also love to start a bowl game for a couple of non-playoff teams. If you have anybody out there has any experience running a bowl game, let us know. We'd love to know how much it costs to run one of those so we can start budgeting. But that is our heart, is to make NAIA football the best it can be, to make this level of football a better product through what we get to do. That is what we want to do. Neither one of me and John are getting rich off this. So all the money is basically going back into travel. So your support is so important to us, and we are thankful that we get to do that we get to do this, that we get to put on a live show, that we get to interview these coaches, that we get to go to the national championship game. And if you love this level as much as John and I do, come along with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join our Patreon. It's the little things that help us to do the big things. So, I've got my phone here. Let's see if anybody's got any comments, questions, worries, concerns, anything like that. Let's see what we've got here. Wait and see if anybody says anything. Looks like it might just be the four of us. If you're a Reinhardt fan, keep an eye out. I'll be up your way in a couple weeks attending your homecoming game against Faulkner. I'm really looking forward to that. Keep it locked in on us as we go this week. You know that we are your source for all your news, all your updates. Keep it locked to NAIAFBALL. And for John Cooper, I am Cory Thorpe. And you have a great rest of your day and a great week. And we'll see you on the field.